Do you ever find yourself caught in a loop of overthinking? That feeling of being paralyzed by the what ifs. What if I fail? What if I say the wrong thing? What if they judge me? I mean, I get it. And here's the truth. Overthinking keeps us stuck, but cognitive rehearsal can help us move forward. It's a tool that allows us to work through our fears before we even step into the situation, giving us the confidence to act instead of shutting ourselves down. So in today's solo episode, we're breaking down what cognitive rehearsal is, why it works, and how you can start using it to navigate tough conversations, decisions, and anything else that's keeping you stuck. So let's dive in. Hey everyone, welcome back to another solo episode on the Untethering Shame podcast. I'm your host, Kyira Wackett, and this is the space where we break down shame, fear, and self-doubt so you can reclaim your power and start living life on your terms. Today's episode is all about cognitive rehearsal, a game-changing mental strategy to help you move past fear and uncertainty. If you've ever felt stuck running worst-case scenarios in your mind or avoiding something because you're afraid of the outcome, this episode is for you. So let's start by talking about what is cognitive rehearsal. Cognitive rehearsal is the practice of mentally preparing for a situation before you actually experience it. Think of it as a mental dress rehearsal. Athletes do this before games, public speakers before presentations, but we can use it in everyday life. Maybe you're dreading a difficult conversation, like setting a boundary with a friend or asking for a raise at work. Instead of just worrying about how it might go, cognitive rehearsal gives you the space to practice, to think through your words, prepare for different responses, and build a plan so you don't feel caught off guard. Now, see, this works because our brains love certainty. Fear thrives in the unknown, and when we don't know what's going to happen, our minds tend to default to a worst-case scenario. Cognitive rehearsal disrupts that cycle. Instead of letting fear take over, we take control by running through different outcomes, both the hard ones and the hopeful ones. So for example, let's say you want to ask your boss for a more flexible schedule. Your brain is immediately going to go to, well, what if they say no? But instead of stopping there, cognitive rehearsal would invite you to go deeper. Okay, if they say no, what's next? How can I respond? What options do I have? This shift is powerful because it reminds your brain that no matter what happens, you have choices. And here's the magic. It doesn't just help you prepare for the worst, it also helps you practice for the best. What if your boss says yes? What if they even offer additional support you didn't expect? When we allow our brains to explore multiple possibilities, we create space for hope alongside the fear. So now let's talk a little bit about how we can actually use this in our everyday life. Here's a simple way to start. First, pick a situation that's been weighing on you. Could be a conversation you've been avoiding, a decision you need to make, or something you feel nervous about. Second, walk through it in your mind. Imagine how it might play out. Let yourself feel the discomfort of possible challenges, but also explore how you'd respond. Third, ask yourself, what's the next step? If things don't go as planned, what are your options? What could you say or do to keep moving forward? And finally, let's balance our fear with hope. Make sure you're not just rehearsing the negative. Give yourself space to consider the best case scenarios too. The more you do this, the more your brain learns that fear isn't the only possibility. You start seeing yourself as capable because you are. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found today's episode helpful, I'd love for you to share it with a friend who might need this too. And let's keep the conversation going. Send me a message or comment with your thoughts. How has cognitive rehearsal helped you tackle something in your life? Or where are you noticing that cognitive rehearsal is something that you could really benefit from? As always, check out the show notes for free resources, including my handout, 5 things shame-resilient people do every day and 3 things they don't. Thank you so much for being here with me. Remember, you have the right to author your own story. So let's go get that pen back. I'll see you next time.